It's 7 p.m. We can start. All right, welcome everyone to the Wakefield Zoning Board of Appeals. Today is September 10th, 2025. My name is Joe Pride. I'm stepping in as chair tonight for Tom, who's out on a family matter. We'll start with attendance. Chip Tarbell.
Here.
Dave Hatfield.
Here.
Sumi Humphreys.
Yeah.
Kirsten Brown.
Here.
Greg Demerja. I don't see him yet. And Mit Patel.
Here.
He is here. I see him. All right, with that, we'll jump to the legal notice. If you don't mind, Dave.
Yep, you're going to share it? No.
Yeah, I'm looking for where that would be. There you go.
All right. Consistent with the governor's orders extending certain provisions of the open meeting law, every effort will be made to allow the public to view and or listen to the meeting in real time. If you do not have a camera or microphone on your computer, you may use the following dial-in number: 1-301-715-8592, meeting ID 874-7941-6388, passcode 380907. Please only use dial-in or computer and not both, as audio feedback will distort the meeting. This meeting will be audio and video recorded. In accordance with the Americans with Disability Act, this location is accessible to people with disabilities. Wakefield provides reasonable accommodations and or language assistance free of charge upon request. If you are a person with a disability and require information or materials in an alternate format, or if you require any other accommodation, please contact the town's disability coordinator, William Renault, town engineer, at 781-246-6308, as far in advance of the event as possible. Every effort will be made to grant your request. Advance notice will enable the town to make reasonable arrangements to remove an accessibility barrier for you. Item 1, continued hearings. Item 2, 26-7, Irving Oil, an application for a variance under Article 10, Section 190-65 of the Wakefield zoning bylaw related to signage to replace faded Irving panels on freestanding sign and canopy with new signs. Property is shown as map 38, lot parcel 27 and 28 of the assessor's map, and is located at 448 Salem Street. Item 3, cases 26-8 and 26-9, Arthur C. Damon and Kathleen M. Tyler, application for a determination and or finding with respect to a continuation and extension of non-conforming uses under Article 9, Section 190-50A of the Wakefield zoning bylaw to construct an addition onto an existing family dwelling. An application for a variance under Article 10, 190-66, seeking a variance from the requirements of Article 6 and Table 2 of the Wakefield zoning bylaw related to the addition to be constructed onto the existing family dwelling. The property is shown as map 14A, lot parcels B134B of the assessor's map, and is located at 7 Cordes Street. Number 4, case 26-10, Kyle White and Carrie Ann Akerson, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, application for a variance on Article 10, Section 190-66, seeking a variance for the requirements of Article 6 and Table 2 of the Wakefield zoning bylaw related to an addition to be constructed onto an existing family dwelling. The property is shown as map 39, lot parcel 0D2 of the assessor's map, and is located at 6 Davy Lane. Item 5, case 26-11, Jean P. Marcelin and Daphne Marcelin, application for a determination and or finding with respect to a continuation and extension of non-conforming uses under Article 9, Section 190-50A of the Wakefield zoning bylaw to construct an addition onto an existing family dwelling. Property is shown as map 31, lot parcel 35A of the assessor's map, and is located at 17 Valley Street. Item 6, case 26-12, Emily Johnston and Adam Johnston, application from relief from limitations set forth in the Wakefield zoning bylaw related to an accessory dwelling unit within the existing family dwelling by seeking a site plan review pursuant to Article 6, 190-22 of the Wakefield zoning bylaw. The property is shown as map 4, lot parcel 26 of the assessor's map, and is located at 21 Shumway Circle. Board of Appeals.
Thank you, Dave. All right, before we begin, I just, like I said, I'm stepping in for Tom. I just want to, real quick, my heart goes out to Tom and his family. He had to bury his nephew this week, so, it's never good to say goodbye to the younger generation. Should be working that other way around. So it's sad news for him. If you want to reach out to him, you can. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. That being said, jump into new hearings. So I have two continued hearings. First one from Brian McGrail, dated September 10th, on case number 2521, 2522, regarding 154 and 158 Salem Street. Dear Mr. Chair, please continue this matter until your meeting on September 25th, 2025, and that we are waiting from a memorandum from the engineering department on the revised plans and stormwater report. So looking for a motion for a continuation to September 24th.
25th, I think, right? Or 24th. 24th.
September 24th, yeah.
Mr. Chair, I move that we continue the matter at 154 to 158 Salem Street to our September 24th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Kirsten Brown,
Yep, agreed.
Sumi Humphries,
Yes.
Chip Tabell,
Yes.
and I vote yes. That's 5, right?
Well, normally the person that makes
that
the
right?
motion gets to vote.
What's that?
Normally the person that makes the motion gets to
Did
vote.
I skip you, Dave? I'm sorry, Dave
did.
Hatfield.
I know.
I'm
you're
sorry.
right.
I'm getting there.
The
Give me
gavel's
a
still
minute to warm
shining
up.
over there. Yeah.
So,
But I vote to continue. Yeah.
Motion's been made and continued to September 24th. I have another letter, dated September 10th from Brian McGrail regarding cases number 26-1, 26-2, and 26-3 on 50 Quantified Parkway. Dear Mr. Chair, please continue this matter until your meeting on September 24th, 2025, and we are still working on information on a revised request from the board.
Mr. Chair, I move that we continue the matter at 50 Quantified Parkway to our meeting on September 24th, 2025.
Second.
Information's been mowed and seconded. Dave Hatfield,
Yes.
Kirsten Brown,
Yes.
Sumi Humphries,
Yes.
and Chip Tabell.
Yes.
All right.
How do you vote, Mr. Chair?
Case has been moved. Excuse me?
How do you vote, Mr. Chair?
And I vote yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it right the first time, and then I screwed up the second time. All right, on to, actually, I don't know. We do have another continue, or it's actually getting, I don't know if Brian wants to bring this up now, just to get it off the docket on the other matters. The minor mod, was it for the Pride sign? I think that's getting,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's 376, 378 Main Street. That is coming off the docket. We're withdrawing our request for that.
do we need to take a vote for that since it's on other matters, or?
Well, it's just a minor modification request with no formal filing, so no requirement.
Okay.
for vote. We kind of got the message last time.
All right, I just wanted to let everyone know, just in case anyone was on for that, so they didn't have to wait till the end. All right,
Makes
so
sense.
one more continued hearing is on the docket, 26-5 regarding the shed at Morrison Road that was continued, 28 Morrison Ave. Who do we have for that?
Good evening. My name is Chris Cornetta, and I represent Jeff Campbell with regard to that matter.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir. I provided to the board by email an improved plan that Mr. Campbell has obtained. I don't know if the board has that. If not, I'd be happy to share a screen and show it. The last time we were here, the issue that the board had was that the proposed shed was slightly closer to the neighbor's lot lines than the current shed. We've now changed that. And I can provide a copy of that if the board would like to see it.
Yeah, point of
We
order,
have
Mr.
it.
Chair. I think I'd ask that they share it just because it is an update
Yes.
from our last,
No,
for
if
the
you can,
members of
if
the
you could
public.
share it, that, yes, if you could share it, that'd be great. We all have it, but the public doesn't.
Understood. Let me pull it up right now. So this is the updated plan with the proposed shed. It does two things. First off, it reduces the size of the shed slightly. The prior proposed shed was a rectangle of 12 feet by 14 feet. This one reduces it to 12 feet by 12 feet, making it a square. Secondly, the board had suggested that Mr. Campbell take the back and left walls and align them exactly with the current shed, and that's what this plan shows, is that the current shed walls, the back and the left walls, are where the new walls will be of the current shed. The dashed line is where we were going to have the shed previously, but now we have moved it further away from those lot lines and closer into Mr. Campbell's property.
Okay. Um, is that all you have for tonight?
That's it in terms of the shed. I can provide other plans or pictures if the board would like to see it. The pictures are just of the current shed, the dilapidated shed. But we're asking, oh, I'm sorry. We were just asking at this point for a finding that what Mr. Campbell is proposing to do is not substantially more detrimental than what the existing non-conforming use is for that shed, so that he can replace his shed, remove the dilapidated shed, and put the new Reed's Ferry shed up.
Okay. Dave, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I'll start off, Mr. Chair. I don't know if any others have comments as well, but I appreciate the updates, Mr. Conetta and Mr. Campbell. Yeah, I mean, this I think addresses the main concern is if you go closer to the lot line, then potentially a variance was needed, as we discussed before. And you know, you'd have to demonstrate hardship and all of that. So it's just a tougher standard to meet. So appreciate you reworking the plan, bringing it to where the current footprint is basically now. And I think with that, where it's not increasing the existing nonconformities, because it is already closer than the 7.5, but as long as it doesn't increase it, I think we can use the finding in 19050 to approve this. So I'm good with it, Mr. Chair.
My
Okay, any other-
curiosity, yeah, have you shown this to Ben, the building department?
Mr. Campbell has gone to the building department, and the response that he received with this plan was that they would not act on it until we had come before this board and received some sort of finding or determination. So that's why we've returned. We did go back to them with this new plan.
Okay. Because they do have the right to find themselves, but if they didn't feel comfortable doing that, no problem. I, along with Mr. Hatfield, feel this addressed our issues from last time.
Yeah, Chip, it's good to hear that. And I think the building inspector is probably only going to approve things if it's already conforming in some way or mostly conforming. So I think by default, he tends to just want us to weigh in. So it kind of makes sense, but I'm glad to hear you did go to him. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my only comment is that dealing with the building inspector in past towns is that once you knock something down, it was as if it was never there. So then you have to abide by the new zoning, which is what, 7.5 feet.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully he doesn't catch you on that, but technically I think when you knock something down, it's as if it was never there. So it's not like, hey, I'm putting it back up. Once it's down, it's down. But if he doesn't
So-
call it on you,
So Joe, that's not, if we say that this plan is not any more detrimental than we've done, then he won't do that. Because
He won't do
we've
that.
knocked down houses and put them back up. So
Okay. Yeah, that
you
was, I
are
was just,
you are correct in that assumption, but it doesn't seem that follows through with our building department.
okay.
Because we've raised houses and everything else and still had findings that it's not more detrimental.
All right, yeah, no, I appreciate that you moved it closer to your property and further away from your neighbors. That red line, that's the roof line, right? The red line that we see. That's
This,
not the footprint of the,
the
Yes.
right here along here,
yeah.
that's my understanding, that's the footprint of the shed itself, that 12, the square.
All right. Oh, yeah, no, I'm good with it. Any other board comments before you open it to the public? I do have a couple letters from the town. The DPA Engineering Department has performed a review of the July 18th, 2025 Board of Appeals application for the above referenced project. This application was submitted by Jeff Campbell and has included the following documentations: plot plan, actual plans. There's no application comments for the DPW. There are no applicable comments from the DPW engineering at this time. And this is from Town Hall. Dear Mr. Lucy, the Wakefield, that's from the fire department, has asked to review an application for a determination of finding. Thank you for this opportunity to review the project. Please, what happened here? After reviewing the application, the department has no objections to this project, so all set with the fire department. And Conservation Commission, I have reviewed the filing. The work considering of removing the current shed at the property and replacing it with a new shed of approximately the same dimensions is to be used for storing. This will not require a fine with the Conservation Commission, so you're all set there. Open it to the public if anyone has any comments on the shed. Hearing none, seeing none. Mr. Cornetta, can you stop sharing your screen for a minute?
Yes, sir.
Just to make sure I get everyone here. No comments from the public. We'll take it back to the board. Pleasure of the board.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we grant a finding and determination pursuant to 19050A, section 19050A of the bylaw, that the proposed reconstruction of the shed at 28 Morrison Ave, based on the plans from Medford Engineering and Survey dated 6/4/25 and revised 9/6/2025, shall not increase the existing non-conforming nature of that structure.
Second,
Who seconded that?
I did.
Oh, Chip. All right. Sorry, didn't see it. All right, the motion's been made and seconded. Dave Hatfield,
Yes.
Chip Tabell, Kirsten Brown,
Yes.
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
and I vote yes. You have your shed.
All right. Mr. Chair, members of the board, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good night.
Good luck.
You too,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda. We got Irving Oil. Who was here for that?
Hey, how are you? Rick Hanna here.
How we
Just
doing?
get started.
You,
You want to go right into it?
yeah, just your name and who you're representing and,
Rick Hanna, construction project manager for Irving Oil.
okay.
I'd like to, if it's possible, just throw up some on my screen so I can show you guys the site and some pictures while I talk. Is that all right?
Sure. Yeah, you can share away.
All right. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just an overview of the site, right? Okay, so yeah, I'm before the board today regarding signage at 448 Salem Street, where there's an Irving Oil, Circle K gas station and convenience store. I started this process by speaking to the building department regarding making a change to the signage on the property. The building inspector would not issue a sign permit, recognizing that the board had rendered prior decisions related to the signage on this property and that the requested changes should be reviewed by the board. So I'd like to begin with a short, brief summary of the previous decisions that have been before this board in the past. There's follows. So first one, November 4th, 2005. Irving was granted permission by the board to basically build this site. Provisions for conditions of use are listed in this document, and there's freestanding and fuel canopy signage approved as it stands in this picture I'm sharing. Then January 18th, 2007, Irving requested to change the canopy from a white fascia as it stands in the pictures to they wanted to put a blue fascia up all the way around it. Very similar to most of the sites we have in our network, and the board denied this request. Then we go to December 21st, 2009. The Irving received board approval to paint the building Sherwin-Williams color 7501, which is like a very off white yellow. It's very, very nice. And then last one, March 26th, 2015, the board approved that Irving add 8-inch LED fuel pricer display units to the existing sign to replace the 10-inch manual pricer displays that were there before. So what I'm saying is these red pricers that are changeable, that's what they got in 2015 March. So those are all the previous board appeals that I was able to dig up with the town. And then I'm adding a new board of appeal to the history books today on September 10th, 2025. So I'm going to go to page 27 of the handbooks I printed out for everybody. Basically, I'm sharing it so you can just look at that. But here you'll see there are 2 Irving canopy icons that we would like to update to new. So there's one on the front long end, 10-foot offset from the corner. And there's another on the short end, closest to where the main freestanding sign is. And these are 18 square feet each. I think they were put up in 2005 or around that when the store was built. They're sun faded, they're old, and all we want to do is put a new one up. So it'll be the same internal lighting, same color, exact same look. And it'll just replace that on the short end and that on the long end. The second thing we'd like to do is replace the Irving panels at the top of the freestanding sign on both sides. The old sun-faded panels, as you can see in this picture, they're just not popping. They don't look good. And my job is to fix that. So what we do is slide that face out and put a brand new one in its place. It'll just be white Lexan plastic with a vinyl logo. And we wanted to do this in the beginning of the summer to, increase our brand image on the street over the summer. And we ended up having to come before this board. And these faces are 15.93 square feet. So they're about 3 foot by 4'10". they'll get slid in there. We don't plan on updating any of the internal lighting, so it'll look the same as it does at night, as it does today. It'll just be, new. I never did put it in here, so this Circle K panel is kind of old school retro. They would like a new panel. If we can put that in as part of this request, I'd appreciate it. If not, I'll tell Circle K they have to, come through the board and do their own application. So there are no other proposed changes to this site signage as part of this request. And that pretty much sums it up for me.
Thank you. Dave, go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Yeah, the changes seem reasonable and modest, just update, refresh, replace existing, so I don't have a problem. Just on this last point that you raised, though, is Circle K a different entity? Is that why they're not part of this, or was it just sort of not thought of when this plan was put together, or?
Not thought of, yeah. I work for Irving, so I wanted to replace the Irving faces, and then it came to light that, we probably should refresh that one all at the same time. So if we could throw it in, I would appreciate it. But I understand it's not in the drawing, so,
Well, could you provide a drawing that would show like what you're showing with the replaced Irvings?
I
I think
could,
if
yeah.
it's there, I wouldn't have a problem with it either. If it's
Okay.
just refreshing everything and it's only on the freestanding sign, right? So I wouldn't have a problem. It should be on the plan so we know what we're approving, right? And it's on the record.
Okay. Yeah,
right?
if honestly, if it means another meeting, I'd rather just just get this one approved if possible. So
Another meeting is another filing. It's 30 more days. Well, we
yeah,
could continue
no,
this. We could
no,
continue
no,
this for 2 weeks
no.
and you'd come back
No,
with an
thank you.
updated sign plan that showed the special K and you'd probably
No,
get a
thank
vote at that point. So,
That's okay. I'd just like to do this if that's all right.
okay. Just putting it out there, those options. That's all.
Appreciate it.
hmm
Thank you, Dave. Chip?
Yeah, Rick, have you read, you're going to take a hit right now for Irving. Have you read all the filings and all the conditions that Irving's had forever on this property?
Yes.
So you know that they were supposed to maintain.
Time out.
So you know that they're supposed to
I'm familiar
maintain.
with them. I'm
One at a
familiar.
You
time.
know they were supposed to maintain landscaping as it was designed, right?
Yeah. Well,
Do you want to know how many tree stumps there are on the property that were never replaced?
yeah.
About a half dozen.
Okay.
So what makes me want to okay Irving going ahead with these changes if you guys haven't maintained and or upheld your part of the conditions from when you built the building?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
So can you answer me why they haven't updated the landscaping?
No, I can get an answer for you, but I don't know.
How about if I make this conditional upon you updating the landscaping as the condition is stated in your original finding, as you so nicely explained all these years back? I mean,
Yeah.
the landscaping was supposed to be maintained and kept up
Yeah.
as planted and as designed.
I think some sort of separate thing. I mean, I would say
Well, it
that
wouldn't be
this,
separate. It would be conditional upon.
right. But I'm saying I don't think this signage has anything to do with that specifically.
Oh, it
Related
certainly
to our
does.
sign.
It certainly does. You guys haven't maintained a condition that was in the original proposal. You guys haven't upheld your part of the deal. Why should I say you can do this when you guys haven't upheld your original part of the deal? So you may not see it as being part of it all, but
Mhm.
Irving as an entity hasn't done what they're supposed to do.
All right, it's news to me, Chip. News to me. But I
Well,
would say
you said you've
for-
read all the decisions, so I don't know if
No,
it's news
no,
to you or you
I
just haven't really
provided-
read.
Just to be clear, Chip, I provided a brief description of each of the 5 decisions that were made over the last 20 years. I didn't read them all.
Okay.
I'm here to update these faces so that they are not faded, sun faded, falling apart. That's what I'm here for. And I will gladly pick up the phone, call Circle K tomorrow morning and have them address any landscaping issues you have. You don't have to make it conditional. I will make that phone call and make you
So
that
Circle K is
promise.
Circle K is responsible for the landscaping at the site?
Yes, sir. Yes, they are. They're the tenant of the convenience store. Irving is retail fuel.
Okay, I'm confused by that. Don't you own the whole property?
No, sir. We lease this property.
You lease it.
Yes,
to-
sir.
We provided, geez, Joe, if you go back, I thought we provided the permit to Irving, not to, I mean, we had the owner of Irving fly down into Hanscom to talk to us about it. So I don't know how, I'm very confused as to how Kay is now the owner.
Kay is not the owner.
You just said he was.
No.
I asked, doesn't Irving own the site? And you said,
So
no.
I'm not a real estate expert, but this property is owned by an individual and it is leased by Irving and Circle K. So Irving leases the fuel portion, Circle K leases the building. That's the impression I have.
Chip, what do you propose we do? Do we
Well, I'm
want to
trying to
hold this?
find, I guess I wish that Mr. Hanna knew who was responsible for not upholding.
Circle K is responsible for the landscaping, Chip. That is 100% the
Rick, you
case.
got to be a little careful on your attitude here. I'm telling you right now, you're walking the line real closely.
Not trying to.
Well, maybe it's your accent or something else, but you need to we're going to have a discussion. If I were you, I'd just take a back seat for a second.
Okay. No problem.
So, Joe, my concern is that we don't know who to go to. We have an opportunity now to discuss conditions that haven't been kept, that haven't been held over ever since the construction of this property. It was all when I think his name was John Irving came down and flew down from Canada to meet with us and to request this. He said this would be the best kept place, be the best gas station in town, da 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 da. I always thought Irving, if we go back to the original filing, that it was an Irving gas station owned by Irving. Now I'm hearing it's an individual entity that owns it. So I'm fine with the signage and I'm fine moving forward. I wish they had an attorney here though presenting, because then we would put it on them to figure out who's not carrying through with the upkeep and the maintenance and the original conditions. That's all I'm trying to get at. And I don't think we have anybody here that can really answer that question.
So Chip, I don't know that this answers it, but on the database, the Wakefield Assessors database, it's owned by a Hudson, Pauline Hudson as the trustee, and it's care of Irving Oil Real Estate. So it's potentially another division of Irving that Mr. Hanna isn't involved with a real estate division. And it's owned by a trust, Pauline Hudson.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
So to keep this moving forward, do we want to, before we go to open it to public?
I'm fine. I'm okay with the signage, really. I'm just,
Yeah, but do we, if, like, to your point, we have him here, so, and he could potentially have to come back for the Circle K part. So do we want
well, he's already said he's not coming back for the Circle K, and I would not allow it to be thrown in as Mr. Hanna suggested, because we don't throw things in here.
No, I know. I agree with that. We shouldn't. We could approve him, conditioning that he comes back in 2 weeks. Not even approve him, but just come back in 2 weeks and present us with the Circle K photo of what you want to do.
Just to chime in, Joe, that is okay. If it means another meeting, I'd like to just proceed as we planned. So I was just asking the question. It's okay. As far as the landscaping, we can take care of that. I'm not aware of it. I haven't been aware of it. That doesn't sound good. And I will be making phone calls tomorrow morning, addressing all of that. So thank you for bringing it to my attention.
If we come back in 2 weeks, you'll have an answer for us on the landscaping.
I was thinking I could have an answer for you on the landscaping tomorrow. But I mean, if it needs to be conditional on that, 2 weeks, yes, I could have an answer on that.
I'm
I will-
okay, Joe. I'm okay to
So-
move forward on the signage. Without-
Signage minus the Circle K, or signage for everything? You don't want
Signage
us
minus
to.
signage minus the Circle K.
But,
All right,
Mr. Chair, Chip, the signs have been up for 20 years. What's another 2 weeks? Like, they're gonna get done before the snow hits, right? So why not come back in 2 weeks, add Circle K, get a letter in writing that someone's gonna own up to the landscaping in the original condition, page 41 of 46 in the submittal,
Well, we could
Condition
always
18,
approve it.
and
We
just
could-
come get something in writing, come back in 2 weeks with a letter from whoever entity is in charge of maintaining it, and say they're gonna clean it up. And they're gonna continue to maintain it as conditioned in the original. What's wrong with coming back in 2 weeks? It's been 20 years.
yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you, Dave.
Oh, I'd be inclined to just continue, and let's just get it right and take care of the other thing. That it's a completely valid point that Chip brought up, and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So-
It's a great
so if the
opportunity.
applicant's willing to do that, I'd say let's do that. What's 2 more weeks? The signs will get up and the landscaping will get cleaned up. We just got to get something in writing.
Dave, I appreciate that, but I will take care of the landscaping. I will do that. So if we could approve this, move it forward, I can get I know there's a review period after this meeting before we can actually do the work. Do we know how long that review period is?
21 days.
21 days. Okay. So if I could have this done 21 days from today, that would be much appreciated. And then I can give you my word that I will address the landscaping. If you want to give me a contact, someone at the town to work with, I will find out exactly what's going on, what needs to be fixed, get it fixed, and report back.
Have you ever seen this site, Rick?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was the project manager of an interior remodel that we just did.
Oh,
Completed in
took
February.
over the subway space.
Yes, sir. Yep, I
Yeah.
was the project manager of that.
So you've seen the stumps growing
I
out
have.
of it.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen the stumps, no, because I have not, but I will look for them.
And the original decision does reference a landscaping maintenance plan, so,
Everyone
probably worth
does.
taking it out because it lays out what was there and what should be there and how it should be maintained.
Yes.
So,
Yep, and Circle K is responsible for all of the landscaping on this property. So if there's problems with it, if you've sent notices to anyone, I haven't received them. So I can basically find out who in that team isn't doing their job and make sure they do.
All right, so
Okay.
before I open up the public, what's the consensus? We're okay with the sign, and you're gonna come back in 2 weeks for the Circle K part?
No,
We won't approve the
True.
Circle K without seeing it,
that's okay.
right?
That's okay. I would like to be able to get these Irving faces in this sign for the fall season in 21 days if possible. That's my goal. We can come back for another meeting for the Circle K signage.
okay, as we said, it's just a new filing, that's all. It's just,
Amy has her hand up.
Understood.
Yeah, Amy, go ahead.
Hi, I just had a quick comment in regards to the decision. Because he's not being represented by an attorney, the chair writes the decision. And I do think that he has a certain amount of days to do that. And then once it is clocked in at the clerk's office, that's when the 20 days begins.
Good point, Amy. So it isn't necessarily 21 days from, or 20 days from this evening. If a vote were to be taken, you're right. It's when the
Okay.
decision gets clocked in. Yep.
Okay, understood.
And how many days do you have, Dave? 2 weeks? The 14? Do you remember?
That
I-
sounds right, but it sounds right. I'm not sure if there's a stipulation. I know there is with site plan reviews and so many days, obviously certain types. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody on this line that could probably remind us, but I just typically if it's a fairly straightforward finding, they get done within a couple of weeks. 1 to 2 weeks they get clocked in. Because usually they want to draft it and send it out to the applicant, make sure the wording's all right and it all looks good. So there's a little bit of back and forth, but just it should happen within a week or two, realistically. And then the clock starts on that appeal period.
All right, well, let's open up the public, see if anyone has it. Actually, I do have some correspondence from the town. The fire department has no objections to this project. DPW, the same. No objections. And this is out of the realm of the Conservation Commission. So from there, I will open it to the public. If anyone here wants to comment on the Irving sign, please do so. Rick, do you mind not sharing, stop sharing your screen, if you don't mind?
I thought I was stopped sharing.
I think it's at the top. A red bar at the top. At least it is on mine.
My screen. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, going once, going twice. No one from the public, so back to the board. So what do we want to do? Do we want to just take a vote on what was presented tonight and hope that he deals with this landscaping, or do we want to hold it over his head for 2 weeks?
Well, now I'm just looking at the application again. So modifying, why isn't this a modification of an existing special permit? Why is it a variance? Why are we granting a variance here, folks?
What are we granting a variance for?
Right, so
What's the
those other
original?
modifications, right? We did the initial decision, then there were updates to it, and it would be my understanding that they would have been modifications to the existing special permit,
That's
Right.
how I would see it.
but
And
they
the only
applied for a
reason they would-
variance.
And
They
the only
applied-
reason he would need to come back is that we control signage. There's usually language in the original that we control all signage on the property in perpetuity. So, forever. And that if they want to change any signage, they have to come back to us. But like you said, Dave, that would be a modification to the special permit.
Right, and that's just
Do
typically
you
a
know why
letter
you
and,
applied
yeah.
for a variance? And what's the variance you're applying for?
190/65.
So what is that variance?
I think the applicant should probably speak to that. Why they applied for a variance.
Chip is correct. So in that initial decision from 2005, there is a part in there for signage, and it basically says what we were granted to put up in 05. If we ever want to change anything, it has to go through the zoning board. And then as far as the variance that I'm going for, it was just a general appeals. It says that any entity that gets denied a building permit or can't get a building permit can go to the board. And the building department has told me that I need to get the board approval before they will give me a signage permit, which.
But he didn't tell you a variance. So our board approval really would be, Dave, don't you think, under other matters? and just a modification to the special permit that already exists. And then there'd be no filing.
Right. I'm looking that the applicant did provide the other decisions, right? The cover letters.
Yeah,
2009 voted in a minor modification to the signage pursuant to powers retained in the special permit. That was
Yeah.
2009. Again, we dove right into the discussion, and then I went back to contemplate starting to make a motion. I realized what they applied for, and it's just,
I don't think it's appropriate. So I think
Do
he
you think
needs
you
to
get-
come back.
He has to
in 2
refile.
weeks. It's not, so Joe, it's not even a refiling because it's a modification to a special permit. So I'm pretty sure we do that under other matters.
Oh, because
Right.
it's, yeah, under signage, under,
Well,
Minor
it's under the special permit that says we hold jurisdiction to signage.
so it's just a
So-
minor mod.
It's a minor mod. So that's
Um,
not, they didn't really even need to apply for the variance.
so procedurally, I'm wondering if all the evidence is presented, we've discussed it. It sounds like there's general agreement to move forward with it pending a vote. I'm thinking procedurally whether we just vote to do a minor modification of the special permit as the previous ones have done. And they request withdrawal without prejudice on the variance. So technically that comes off the books. And we vote to do a minor mod because that's really the appropriate path. It's not, I don't know that, because again, it's not like a refile and people have to be noticed because it would have normally been under other matters anyway. But all the evidence has been brought out. We've discussed it, taken public testimony. We probably could just vote. It's not like they applied for variance and needed a
No,
finding
but we do need to
or a
close,
special permit. You know what I'm saying? It's,
but we do need to close out the variance.
they
we
would have
can't
to
just
withdraw
leave
it
that
because it doesn't
dangling.
apply. Yeah.
Right, but we can't just leave it dangling out there.
No, so that's why I said procedurally, I think the right course is for them to request the withdrawal of the variance without prejudice. We would vote on that. And then we would vote to approve the minor modification of the original special permit based on the signed plan presented, yada, yada. And Joe writes a letter.
And at that point, we could include the special K in it. Not special K, but we could
No,
include the
well,
K.
it's not in the sign plan.
We
I wouldn't.
we
It's not-
could include the K under the condition that they present the new plan that has that on it.
We could if they're willing to
Oh.
do that.
Well, they'd have to do that. If not, then the
I'm
K.
okay. It's okay. Just as presented, that can be what's approved. That is fine. I'm okay with that. No problems.
Then you just come back in 2 weeks if you want the Circle K under minor mod. No?
Wow.
Under
Well,
minor
We'd have to
mod, right?
refile.
Please,
That would
have
have
to
to be
refile.
minor mod. Right.
please,
So
just
whether he comes back,
what is presented is completely fine. Completely fine. Thank you.
and then I'm going to take Rick's word that he's also going to write to the building inspector and tell us who's responsible for the landscaping and when it's going to be taken care of.
Yes,
And
Chair.
that's not going to be part of the decision. It's going to be part of Rick Hanna's personal guarantee that that's going to happen.
Yes, you can take my word for it. And we are soon going to be pulling a building permit for a new beer cave in the store. So I'm going to be at the town working with them on the site. So I'll be in the area, and yeah.
or you'll be in the area if you want that permit. You better meet out those other requirements. All right, so
So let's keep this going.
I'm okay, Joe, if we move forward now.
All right, so he's got to
Have them-
withdraw, right? Is that
He's
the
got to
plan?
withdraw. He's got a request to withdraw his variance without prejudice and ask for a minor modification to the special permit of 20. When was it, Dave? It's been at least 20 years.
Yep. November 2005.
Okay. Do you have all that, Rick? What you need to do?
All right, Rick.
Right, so I withdraw my application for a variance without prejudice. And
Yep, stop there. Okay, now we
Um,
need to vote on that.
Let's take a vote. Voting members in Kirsten. Dave Hatfield. Or do you need to make a
Yes.
motion? All right,
No, he requested to
He made-
remove
yeah.
withdraw the
Yeah,
variance,
he
so
requested
there's no
without-
motion to be made.
Yeah,
All right, Dave Hatfield, yes. Chip
I
Tarbell,
accept, yes.
yes,
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
Kirsten Brown,
Yes.
and I vote yes, so you withdrew from that without prejudice. So now,
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve a minor modification to the original special permit granted by this board for the sign updates as proposed at 448 Salem Street by Irving Oil, based on the sign plan from Pro Signs dated May 22nd, 2025. And
I second that.
authorize, yeah, I mean, authorizing you to, the board chair, to write a letter to the building inspector with that modification. That's what the motion.
Second,
motion's been made and seconded. Regular voting members and Kirsten, Dave Hatfield,
Yes,
Chip Tarbell,
yes,
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
Kirsten Brown,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So that has been approved, and I get to write a letter.
instead of writing a whole thing. Thank you, Rick.
I'm getting,
thank you.
Can't wait to see
I'm
the
gonna
new-
look for some stumps. Thank you. I see you.
all right, moving on to 26-8, 26-9, 7 Street.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Attorney Brian McGrail here on behalf of Arthur Damon and Kathleen Tyler. They're the owners of property at 7 Street in Wakefield. I have two applications in front of you in this regard. One is for a finding and one is for a variance. And once I go through my presentation, I think I am going to be able to request to withdraw the request for the variance without prejudice.
Seems to be the night to do that.
To do that.
We're all warmed up for that.
And I'll tell you why, we applied for it. I go through. So, if I can share my screen, would that be okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Friday I submitted a revised site plan, and the only difference on the revised site plan, I had the surveyor go out and do some survey on the neighbor's property to get the distance from the neighbor's property, because as you know, under table 2 of our bylaw, there's a requirement that you have to be 20 feet from a neighbor's house. So I had applied for a variance when we applied because I didn't know what that dimension was, just in case. I knew we would be getting it. But now that's come in that we do not need that relief, we will be withdrawing that request. Now to get back to the proposal, what Arthur and Kathleen are requesting to do, you can see their house is at 7 Street, and they have a entry on the side, which is just stairs. And with the family, etc., this is the driveway, this is where they come and go. In essence, they want to take the stairs off and put a very small addition that will include kind of like an entry area mudroom, place to put the coats, hang the hats, take off the boots before they go into the house. As you can see from the zoning table down below, it's a legal non-conforming lot. The property's in the single residence district. 12,000 feet is required. It's 8539. The frontage requirement is 80 feet. I'm sorry, 100 feet, and it's 80. Obviously, that's not changing. The height on this is just 1 story, just to get in the house, nothing up above. So height is not an issue. Lot coverage maximum is 30%. This is at 23.1. It's going to be 23.9. That's how small it is. Open space minimum is 40. It's currently 68.9. I think he's got these backwards because it doesn't make sense that it would be getting greater open space. But in any event, it's easily maintained. It's not even close, well over the 40% minimum. The front setback is, requirement is 20 feet, and it's 24.3. The engineer on this put 33.6 just to show where the addition is, but obviously the 24.3 is not changing. And this is where the finding comes in. On the left side, it's currently 11.4, a tie line to the house. There's an exemption for the stairs when they're exterior, so they don't count. Now that it will be enclosed, it's going from 11.4 to 7.7. So that's where we need the finding of not, that it's not substantially more detrimental, and that's why where it already is not conforming, a variance is not required on this side. It's 9.9 on the other side, which is obviously not changing. And then the rear setback, it's currently 62.5, and that is staying the same. Really a simple request. My client, Arthur, and I think actually Kathleen, went over to speak with the neighbors. It's my understanding that it's a senior woman that lives there, doesn't get about too much. But Arthur, can you or Kathleen touch on that, the conversation with your neighbor on this?
Sure. Let me just try to get my video up
You
here.
can identify yourself, Arthur, for the board and state your address.
Sure. Arthur Damon, 7 Quarter Street, Wakefield, Mass. You can see up there. Yeah, I spoke to my neighbor's sons. We went over everything, and it's really no difference to them. The space I mean, it's the same space with the stairs. It's just that this would have a roof over and be enclosed. The wind that we get off the lake, it sounds silly, but it actually will open the kitchen door right now from the outside if it's not locked sometimes. So this would just, help with that.
Brian, I have a question on the dimensions. So your 26 feet is up from the front corner of the house.
Let me
Do
bring
we
it
know
back
what
up. Hold on.
do we know what the right? So you're not supposed to be within 20. No, you can keep the.
I can't see it for some reason. I gotta change my, there we go.
Okay, well, that's all right. So, if we need to make sure that the addition itself is not within 20 feet, which I think you're fine, but it narrows. If you go to where the 7.7 is, and then you go across to the house at that point, I don't think you're down to 15 feet or something, or
No, because the
13
closest,
feet.
you're talking about the neighbor's property, Chip?
Yeah, so that's the house is that slatted. So the
This is the
closest
house.
point is 18 feet and the farthest point is 26.
That's right.
So at the 7.7, you're at 18
25.
plus something. But that's where the measurement should have taken place.
It's not, it can't even be close because the house is further back geometrically.
Which house is further?
Well, I mean,
back?
the closest point the house is to our property line is 18 feet.
Right, so that's what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
but instead,
In our
that's where
position,
but that's where the measurement should have taken place.
Yeah, but I
Is
think
at
it's,
the 7.7.
I mean, I flunked geometry, I'll tell you that, but,
Yeah, me too. I
yeah,
think
but-
we're fine.
but my point is that the closest point is 18
Yeah,
feet.
right.
And we're 7.5, 7.7.
That puts you at 25.7.
25.7.
Yeah, okay. But in the future, I would take the measurement at the closest point to the lot line
Point well taken.
so that we don't have to do geometry in our 60s.
So I missed all that. What is that little section of pie over there? Is that just? That's not to the
Which
left.
little-
From the 18.5 section and then the bottom 26.0. Is that a lot or is that just?
No, that's a
oh,
distance of their house, the neighbor's
Okay,
house.
that's the corner of the house. All right,
That's
Yeah,
just a tie
that's
line.
the
I
south.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Much bigger house.
I thought that was just a chunk of land between two plots of land. All right, I get you. All right. Anyone else have any questions from the board? Is that all you have, Brian? before
That's
I,
it. Yeah, it's pretty simple addition. And it's a finding. And so the first request is to withdraw the application for the variance without prejudice.
all right, if nobody else has any comments from the board. Couple correspondence from the town fire department. No objections to this project. DPW, no comment. And conservation outside their jurisdiction. So we can open up to public comment. If anyone is on the Zoom call would like to make a comment, please raise your hand. Small crowd tonight. Going once up.
Mhm.
I got one gentleman, Stephen Zaya, if I said that correctly. If you could just say your name and your address, please, for the record.
It's Stephen Zaya, and it's 164 Main. I'm the abutter. Just first time I've seen this particular map. I just wanted to verify that the proposed porch is not extending now out to the end of the house, that it's going to be shorter than originally planned.
Let me bring it up, Steve, if I can, Mr. Chair, just to show the plan. So we can answer that for Mr. Zaire. Yeah, so you were wondering, Steve, if it's gonna go all the way back here?
Right. I think the original layout had it going all the way to the rear of that house.
Yeah, Arthur, can you clarify that? for Mr.
Yeah,
Zaire?
no, it's not. It's just exactly what you said, Stephen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just short.
All right. And nothing has changed with regards to the dimensions of the porch, width-wise.
No.
Okay. Yeah. No, we don't have any objection to anything. I just wanted to make sure that
Sure.
we were clear with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
certainly.
Anybody else? Brian, you can take that down, I believe. I think we're good. All right, back to the board. Looking for, well, Brian, you want to withdraw? If there's any other comments before we go to Brian? Good? Everybody
None.
good?
None here.
Brian, would you like to withdraw?
Yes, I'd like to withdraw the request for the variance without prejudice, Mr. Chair.
So, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we accept the applicant's request to withdraw the variance without prejudice.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, regular voting members and Mitt. Let's go, Mr. Hatfield,
Yes.
Chip Tabell,
Yes.
Sumi Humphries,
Yes.
Mitt Patel,
Yes.
and I vote yes, so that's been withdrawn.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we grant a finding and determination pursuant to section 190-50A of the bylaw that the proposed reconstruction changes, extensions, and alterations at 7 Court Street, based on the plans presented to us this evening, the site plan from David P. Terenzoni, dated June 26, 2025, and revised September 3rd, 2025. Shall increase the existing non-conforming nature of the structure with regard to that side setback. But we also find that the proposed changes, reconstruction, extensions, and alterations shall not be substantially more detrimental than the existing non-conformities to the neighborhood.
Seconded, please.
Second, sorry. Not used to this huge role I have.
Motion's been made and seconded. Regular voting members again, and Mitt, Dave Hatfield,
Yes.
Chip Tabell,
Yes.
Sumi Humphries,
Yes.
Met Patel. And I vote yes. So your finding's been granted, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Next on the agenda is case number 26-10, 6 Dabby Lane.
That's mine also, Mr. Chair. But for the record, Attorney Brian McGrail here on behalf of Kyle White and Kerry Ann Akeson. They are the owners of 6 Davy Lane. And this is a request for a variance that I actually have to keep on the docket tonight. It's the only application. This is like kind of backwards because it's very unique. They have everything they have, which you'll see is conforming, so they actually don't need a finding. This is kind of first one in a long time. So I will share my screen if I may. I think I'll start with the site plan.
Sure.
So what Kyle and Carrie Ann are looking to do is they have a split level house, which you see in a minute. They're looking to put an addition on the left-hand side that will fit nicely, to have a playroom in the bottom, and then a master suite up above. It's conducive, is uniqueness to the layout of the structure, because this is a sunroom, and you'll see how it connects. They looked at opportunities to potentially do it out back. They've got a pool, and this ties into their kitchen, as you see in the floor plans. And they have significant deck and stair work here that would really interfere with the layout of a traditionally designed split level. So as I've mentioned, this is a conforming lot, as you'll see from the zoning table. I'll blow that up a little bit. 100 feet of frontage and lot width is required. That is met. The lot area is 12,000 square feet. That does not show on the table, but shows on the plan, single residence district, so that meets that requirement. The front setback is compliant, 20 feet. It's at 28.4. That will not change. The side yard setback is 15 is required. That's where the variance request is. They'd like to go up to 10, as you can see on the plan on the left side. The right side is easily compliant at 27.8. The rear setback is, the requirement is 25. And again, that is easily compliant as well at the addition is 59.6, the house is 49.5. So either way, it's not even close. Building height, it's a split level, so it's a relatively low house. It's only approximately 20 feet high under the 35-foot requirement. 2.5 story split. Building coverage requirement is not even close, and the open space is easily met. We did a distance on the neighboring house, which is quite far away, 28.3 feet. So certainly that requirement is met, but I wanted to put that on the plan. So just kind of architecturally, if I may, we just load that up. So the cover sheet shows the elevation, just kind of a schematic sketch, not a real rendering type thing, but this gives you a good idea of how this ties in. This is the sunroom in the back I mentioned. You can kind of see all the stair work going up to the kitchen on this side. This is the addition from the rear and the addition from the front. This is the existing conditions. As you can see, you've got this in the lower level, you've got the 2-car garage. You already have a family room, a closet, and some mechanical area. And up above, you've got the living room on the left side, dining room, and the sunroom. And I mentioned you've got all the kitchen area, bathrooms, and the significant deck as it relates to the pool in the backyard. And this is what's being proposed on the lower level, is to have a playroom for the kids. With a split, the family room is downstairs. And then upstairs, they'd like to put their master suite, bedroom, walk-in closet, and bathroom. You can see how it will connect to the sunroom to give the privacy. And this is just some more relevant drawings. So as you know, when, especially with variances, I always like my clients to actually go talk to the neighbors, which Kyle and Carrie Ann did. For the record, Mr. Chair, I'm going to ask them if they could just kind of convey what their conversation with the neighbors was on this. Kyle or Carrie Ann, are you there?
Hi, good evening. Kyle White at 6 Davy Lane. So we went to talk with our abutting neighbor on the left side where the addition would be located. Mentioned how we were, growing family, looking to extend our home. And she was happy for us. She said there would be no pushback from her, especially with our houses being the 28 feet from like the property line. So the addition would not be directly on top of her house in general, just with the layout purposes. But she was very happy for us and said there would be no issues from the abutting neighbor.
Good.
So if you'd like, Mr. Chair, I can go through the variance standards. If you'd like me to do that, be happy to.
So
Sure.
I would love to hear that because I'd love to hear what the hardship is.
Well, the first thing that you have to have is you've got to have unique circumstances. Okay, the unique
Yeah,
circumstances can relate to the lot or the structure or the improvements. So in this situation, as I mentioned, you got a perfectly square lot. You don't have a lot of topography, admittedly, but you have certainly unique circumstances as it relates to the existing structure that were not created by Kyle or Carrie Ann. I mean, it's a split level. As I've mentioned, there's little opportunity architecturally with the existing structure to make the addition work in the backside that where the pool isn't, and tie that in. So that is our unique circumstance as far as the hardship is. That's a growing family with a need to spread out, and because they have a lot that complies, but they have no real practical other place to put this. And the third component is that it will not have any adverse effect. And you just heard the comments from Kyle in that regard. There is significant space from the neighbor, and this isn't going right on the property line. It's going 10 feet. It's only a 5-foot variance.
So I guess my question is, have design options been looked at that would not need a variance and keep it back the 15 feet as the zoning laws allow? Like this seems to be a pretty big square addition. Could it be longer and narrower? Were other options looked at? This seems to be a pretty simple square addition.
So yeah, I think they did. Kyle, can you touch on that? What you looked at with this?
Yeah, so based on the location for the side yard here, this was basically to not hinder the pool equipment where the pool shed is out back, and then also to prevent us going past the fireplace and having to relocate mechanicals and electrical. So this would eliminate and start the addition past the fireplace and then continue it. So we squared it up that way. We looked at potential other options to make it longer, but then that involved more work and it was more costly for relocating all the electrical downstairs and all the mechanical.
What do you think, Chip?
I'll stay quiet for a while.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but the other house, I mean, it is a big chunk of space. It's 28 feet. He's actually hiding the pool now from the street. I don't know if that makes a difference, but sometimes it's better that the pool is now more in the backyard than it was previous.
The
How wide is that addition?
question comes up as to how is that a side yard or a backyard? And there's always a great question of that. And was the pool even permitted? But I wasn't going to go there.
Oh, that's in the
Yeah, I get you.
That's in the rear yard.
Well, not when Jack used to look at it. In the rear yard, it has to be behind the
Oh,
house.
the rear yard is anything. If you let me just show you. I mean, even the way Jack interpreted it. is.
I remember
is-
him interpreting it. with
The
side
definition of
yard.
the rear yard, is you draw a line from side lot to side lot. And anything behind this is rear yard. If the pool was where the addition's going, that will be in the side yard.
Yeah. So did that pool come with the house?
Correct, yes.
Okay. My opinion is, I think, other than for cost, there could have been other ways to have done this addition. That's my one comment, is that leaving cost aside, or I'm not sure if you encapsulated the fireplace as part of a wall or whatever. I'm not sure about moving mechanicals. That sounds a little sketchy to me, but I think there's probably other ways to do it. But where this is so far from the other house, I just think this looks to be extremely square, extremely simple to build, and probably extremely cost effective, which I think are the reasons to go closer to the lot line. And I think if cost wasn't an issue, there are other ways to have done this. But that's my comments. I won't stand in the way of it.
Thanks, Chip. Anybody else on the board?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I had similar concerns because know the lot well. And yeah, just looking at the plot plan again, it's square, there's no ledge. It's usually we're dealing with topography and ledge and odd shapes, and the way the house is positioned on the lot limits the options, and it's, I think we've found it easier to sort of find that hardship and meet them. This one I struggled with as well as Mr. Tarbella's. But I understand that it's circumstances owing to the land or structures, right? And little enforcement would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. So again, doing something else, putting it somewhere else on the lot, even though you just look at it and say there are other places it conceivably could go, but what does that involve with tying it into the existing house? What else is going on in those other parts of the house and having to reconfigure everything? Then that, I think, speaks to the financial hardship part of it. So as Chip said, there are probably other ways this could have been done. But um, you know, I appreciate the fact that they spoke to the abutter. That's an important consideration, not just with the variance, but it's just good to know that they're on board, because sometimes we've gotten into situations where the neighbor hasn't been on board. They're surprised by what's going on. How did this happen, right? And so, and in some cases, things have been negotiated and things have been reworked to make everyone happy. So I'm happy that you did that. It's good that you did that. Again, I'm some reservation, but I can get around on this one, given the financial aspects related to the structure, not so much the lot. So that's where I am, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Dave. Anybody else? Yeah, I mean, as a builder, yeah, I guess you could have taken that two-story addition on the left and shrunk it 5 feet, but then I don't think it would have been usable. In my eyes, it would have looked funny, skinny. If you put it on the right-hand side, maybe you could have fit it in there, but then you have I believe you have the two garage doors on that side, so I don't know if that ties in very well with the underground parking. So, and in the back, I don't, throw an addition on the back, now you lose your deck. I don't know. I think that probably was one of the best possible spots for it. So, I always say if the neighbors don't have a problem with it, as long as you're not encroaching a ridiculous amount on one side, I usually don't have a problem with it. If there's no other comments from the board, I have a couple comments from the town. Wakefield Fire Department, no objection to this project. Conservation Commission outside our jurisdiction, and the DPW requires an application for a sewer infiltration fee, the 4-to-1 ratio. The fee is $450 per bedroom. You know all about that, Brian, right? So
I do.
that's all the engineering department would like from you if this project goes forward. With that, I will open it up to the public. Anyone viewing this on Zoom, please raise your hand. Comments, questions? If none, I will return it to the board.
If I could just add, Mr. Chair, I appreciate all the comments, very, very relevant and accurate by the board members. And, just a point that, financial is a hardship. There's cases on it that, when the unique circumstances is related to the structure here would cause a premium cost. It is a justified hardship for a variance, as long as the expenses aren't personal to the owners, if they would be incurred by anyone attempting to make the reasonable and permitted use of the property, which is the case here. Anyone that owned this that will put the addition on would face those same expenses and costs.
Thank you,
Thank
Brian.
All right. Looking for a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we grant a variance pursuant to section 190-66 of the zoning bylaw. Sorry, I just gotta get my words right here. From the requirements of Article 6 and Table 2 of the Wakefield zoning bylaw related to the addition that's proposed at 6 Davy Lane, owing to circumstances related, financial hardship circumstances related to the structure, and possibly doing the addition in other ways on the property. The variance is specific to the side setback of 10 feet instead of the required 15. And we're basing this motion on the plan submitted, the site plan, the Ponset Valley Survey Associates dated July 18, 2025, and revised September 3rd, 2025, and the architectural renderings from Rangel Planning Design dated June 19th, 2025. I don't think we have any conditions as part of this, other than the usual following the plans, but that'll be in the decision. So that's my motion, Mr. Chair.
Can I get a second?
Second, sorry.
Motion's been made and seconded. Regular voted members and back to Kirsten, Dave Hatfield,
Yes.
Chip Tarbell,
Yes.
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
Kirsten Brown. And I vote yes. Was that it, or did we have another one?
That's it on that.
That's it, right? And then just the variance, right? That was it?
That was it.
That's it.
So you got your variance, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Moving on to 26-11, 17 Valley Street.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Attorney Brian McGrail here on behalf of Jean Marcelin and Daphne Marcelin, owners of 17 Valley Street, seeking a determination and a finding relating to an addition onto their single-family dwelling, which is a garage that they would like to add on. I'm going to, I think, start this with a kind of a look at the property, because you have to appreciate it. You have to see it kind of to appreciate what's going on here. So let me just bring that up, and then I'll get into the plan. But I'd like to start it with a street view. Guess I'll start it, share my screen. So this is the property at 17 Valley Street. Can you see my plan?
Yes.
Okay, so this is on the assessors GIS, and just because it's really going to help you get oriented. So if you're if, Water Street is down here and then the Haunt is down the other end. So as you're heading towards Water Street, let me shrink it down. You go down the Haunt, you head towards Water. This is on the left-hand side. And you'll see how the house here, the house actually, this was an old paper street that cut through here. You see it? And you'll see on our site plan, I'll blow this up, the town record actually shows it as well, that the house actually encroaches on that. So this property was before the board back in the 60s. Amy was kind enough to send me the file on it, that it was divided into 35A and 35B. There's now a house at 35B. I think that's 19 Valley. And at one point, all of these four neighbors had filed an agreement with land court that they terminated their rights in this way. But this will help you to kind of see what we're doing here. So to orient you, on this side is where the driveway is, and there's a lot of topography back here. And the Musselins just want to build a garage to go on their property to get some vehicles off of the street. So with that said, I'm gonna now go to the street view. Did you see me switch to that? Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Valley. This car is headed towards Water Street. You can see the topography. There's some big homes that have been built here. There's topography up here, and this is our house, Marslin's house right here. And this here was like the paper street. So you see in the plan that it encroaches on that. But as I said, there's been a termination of that between the parties. And where they want to put their garage is in essence where their driveway is kind of blended in to the hill here. So I think that helps probably orient you. It's really a pretty unique. We're not asking for a variance here. We don't need one. Too bad we weren't, because you probably can't have two, real unique circumstances here. You've got topography, walls, you've got lot shape, which you saw from the plan. So I'm going to stop sharing that, and now we'll go to our site plan. Whoops. So this is a site plan. And as you can see, you can kind of see, this is that way I talked to you about. See how the house actually encroaches on it? See that little hash mark? That's that way going by, but again, it was terminated. This is Valley Street. So the house sits way back here. And this is where they would like to kind of add on their garage in this piece here to kind of blend in with the house. So we have I'm going to just go over the zoning table while I have this up. This is actually in the general residence zoning district, so only 8,000 square feet is required. There's 12.7 on this lot. 80 feet of frontage is required. It's a legal it actually got a variance for this at the board back in the 60s for 43 feet. Building height is 35. It's going to be well under 35. It's just a garage. Minimum setbacks, front is 15. Existing is 36.5, which really isn't existing. I mean, technically that's not frontage, but it's 36.5, and it's going to comply because the garage, as you can see, is 21.8. The side setbacks aren't even close. There's no issue there. 10 feet is required. It's going to be 31 feet. No change on the other side. Rear, no change. Building coverage, 35%. It's not even close. We're going from 5.7, but it's going to be 11.5. And minimum open area is not even close. 30% is required. Currently 12 will be approximately 18. I'll share, this is a garage. They really just had a rough sketch done on it, especially where it's a finding. So this will just give you kind of an idea of how they want to blend this. Sorry about that.
It's actually not a bad sketch. I've seen worse.
Yeah, it just,
It's
you know,
computer,
their,
it's computer
their
generated.
contractor, Amir is on, and he's here. He can answer questions, technical, if you need to, but I just had him kind of do a sketch of, you know, how he's gonna build this. It's gonna be kind of like a, you can see the interior floor plan, family rooms. They're gonna do like a mud area here. This is the garage, and they're really trying to work with the topography. So the garage will actually sit lower than the house, and they come up the stairs. They can get into the house. It's really going to be much more conducive for what's there now. Pretty tough situation for them to navigate, especially in the winter months. So this is a
They're gonna
finding.
be, Brian, is there gonna be living above the garage? Is
No,
there a room there, or is that just space?
that's just space, Chip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is the porch above the right hand, is that still open?
I'm
Like it
gonna-
is in the
I
current?
believe it is. Amir, are you here?
Yeah.
Amir,
Yeah.
can you identify yourself, Amir, with your name and address, and answer that question for Mr. Tabell, please?
Sure. Hello, everyone. This is Amr Hafiz. I'm the owner of Quantum Leap Construction. We're the contractors doing the work for JP. We're at 490 Chestnut Street in Newton. Most of the work we do is around this area, but getting more and more jobs in Wakefield. So hopefully this is the first of many that we present to you guys, but I appreciate you taking the time to listen to us. There is no living space above. There's no plumbing. It's just electrical, basically to get lights in there. You're asking about the porch. It is going to continue to be open in the front, near where that paper way is that Brian was talking about. That part will be open. Underneath it will be closed. But for the most part, that front part of the porch will be open.
Thank you. That's what it looked like.
And on the site plan, the right-hand side looked all shaded yellow. What is that part of the plan? I don't know if you can bring that back up, Brian.
Yeah, let me bring that up, and then Amir can.
Because I kind of can visualize the garage part, but I'm even on the architectural, I'm just wondering what that right hand
Yeah, Amir, so what
represents.
what Mr. Hatfield's asking is, if you could help out, what this area is, right, Dave?
Yeah, that whole shaded
foundation
area.
under
What is
the
that? What's going on there?
Foundation under the open porch.
Amir, are you there? Did we lose him?
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
I'm here. Yep. So you're asking about the porch. That whole part when you go up the stairs. So there are stairs now that go up into kind of a landing within the topography. So it's kind of a terraced kind of brick wall with concrete steps that go up. So we're still going to have steps leading up to a landing, but that landing is going to be an enclosed part of the landing. So it's going to have basically you walk up the stairs, then you have a door going on your left going into the garage area, and then steps going down from there. And to your right, you'll go into kind of the main floor of the house, because the main floor of the house is not the lower level, it's actually the top level at the top of those stairs. So essentially the mudroom is going to be right outside of the front entrance of the home. And then we're doing some interior remodeling in the basement itself, but that's nothing from a zoning perspective required there.
So I think what Dave is asking, you see this yellow piece that sticks out, Amir? You see my cursor?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of this like leg,
Yep.
What is this? Is this foundation?
Yeah. It is foundation. Yeah.
Okay, and is that where, and is that kind of where the mudroom area is gonna be?
Exactly. So again, it's not here. It looks like it's just one big enclosed area. It's not. It's going to be the doorway is basically where the wording that says proposed stairs is. That's kind of where the front entrance is. So that back part of the space is going to be the enclosed mudroom part, and then the front will continue to be an open porch, like I mentioned. Does that make sense? I just hope I'm answering your question correctly, but that's, I think
so. It's just, again, there were arrows pointing to garage, landing, proposed stairs, and then this yellow jog, it just wasn't labeled like a foundation or what it was going to be. So I was just
So
curious.
this is a yellow jog, right, Amir?
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is gonna be foundation. That's where the mud area is. So I'm stating it as an addition as a garage, but there's actually a little addition to the house too, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So foundation under with some structure there tying into the house. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not, yeah, that's the plan. I mean, we could do sonotubes if you think that's less invasive, but.
I'm not recommending any architectural
Okay.
changes. I'm just trying to
Okay,
understand what you're presenting.
sure.
Okay,
sure.
thank you. My second question is, given the topography that you showed in that picture, again, drive by this site often, know it well. How are you building the garage into the site? Are you excavating? Are you
Yeah.
taking that stuff down? Okay,
Yep.
no blasting. You think you can do it just with claws
Yeah,
and pull it down and level
exactly.
that grade and then
Yeah,
put
yeah.
the garage in? Okay,
That's the plan. Hopefully, there's no ledge. I mean, there's this,
Yeah.
a bit of ledge in Wakefield from what I'm hearing, but our site team has looked at the property and there doesn't seem to be anything. It looks to be all soil, so hopefully it'll come down pretty easy. Yeah, and then we'll just put
Okay.
the walls up for the garage. Yeah.
Right. No, just to clarify again, there could be abutters here. Well, small crowd. Don't know if the abutters are here, but they could be listening or they could watch the video. But
Sure.
definitely
Yeah.
talk to them. They might be curious just to know what's going on and when they see stuff out there, start excavating. So
Sure.
it'd be good that they know what's going on. So
Yeah.
but other than
Absolutely.
that, Mr. Chair, again, seems like a reasonable ask. It does seem to meet the prongs for finding.
Yep.
And I'm good. Just clarifying those couple points. Thank you.
I I have a I have a questions. Do you actually have a head height in the mudroom, your new mudroom? Because the existing exterior stair looks like it doesn't really go up to.
We in so the So again, the existing house is 2 floors with the main floor, the kitchen, kind of the living area, all being on that top floor. So there is kind of a deck now.
No, I can see the deck. I can see the deck, but it's
You went on mute for a minute for some reason.
Oh, sorry,
There you go.
I don't know why that keeps happening. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the stairs are basically staying as is, right? But then that porch that's open now, it's gonna get demolished, and we'll build kind of another porch that's set a little bit further back, but it's not going to be a porch. It's going to be the enclosed area. But the mudroom will be essentially where the porch is now, with a little extension in the back where those windows are.
right, but the concrete stair on the exterior that goes only to the top of the retaining wall there, and it doesn't go all the way up to the height of the front door. You have the blue front door. I don't know how the stair is actually running to the porch on the second floor. And
Oh.
if you make the new mudroom underneath, I don't know if you actually have a head height where the door is to the mudroom from the garage.
Amir, you're on mute again.
Geez, sorry about that. So we're talking about the top of the stairs, correct?
So the inside of your new mud area, and
Yeah.
there's where the door is from where it said office and garage storage.
Yeah.
Do you actually going to have a head height? Because the concrete stairs on the outside doesn't look like it goes all the way up to the front door, which is the blue door you see on
Yeah.
the view.
There is a second flight of stairs in the back, so that either way we are demolishing the existing concrete stairway, so we're framing new staircase there.
Okay.
So we're gonna go wherever we need to kind of make sure that we do have the ceiling height, but there isn't necessarily going to be a lot of space on, I guess, the top part of the garage. It's really going to be kind of walk into the garage and go down steps right away. So if anything, we can build like a little head house, like right at the top of the garage there. But again, everything is set pretty low that I think we'll be able to kind of build up. It shouldn't be a problem. We're still not going to reach the max of the height of the house, because the garage, the peak of the garage is still lower than the peak of the house. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know you're gonna rebuild the exterior
yeah.
stair too.
Yeah.
Is there a reason the garage is kind of high? I think that's why Chip thought there'll be a like a living space upstairs because it looks like you have a window above the
Mhm.
garage door.
Yeah, no, I mean, the majority of that decision was aesthetically, so the garage isn't too low next to the home. But JP is also, you know, really into cars, so he has a couple of cars, and he'd like to have a lift there to be able to lift the car up and you know, just store another car underneath.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sumi. Anyone else?
What is the construction of that garage? Is that going to be a poured concrete walls? How are you building that in?
Yeah, it's you know, most likely going to be poured concrete, with CMU, some sort of CMU on the inside.
Thank you. Anyone else? Couple correspondence from the town, Wakefield Fire Department, no objections. DP Engineering, no comment, but says that the Conservation Commission, you'll need a filing. Do you know about that, Brian?
Yeah, we're kind of, you know, we know that, we found that out, we got that correspondence today, so we'll deal with that. We're kind of mystified why, I mean, because they're saying we're near the Mill River, but it's, as you can see from the plan, it's on the other side of Foundry Street behind the, Valley Street behind the other houses, so we'll probably
Yeah,
just
they're calling
file a
140
request for
feet.
determination of applicability. I just don't see a lot of, issues here, but we'll deal with that.
Sounds good. All right, now I'd like to open up to the public. Anyone on the Zoom call like to comment on the project in front of us, please do so. Going once, going twice, back to the board. Pleasure to the board.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm fine with the plan. The Concom kind of concerns me, so I would just make our decision contingent upon any Conservation Commission ruling. In other words, if they change the location or change something, they got to come back to us.
Agreed. Good point, Chip.
I would agree with Brian, like, not sure where they're going with this, but if something out of left field happens, we should,
We should know about it. Yep.
as we would normally if it was on the river.
Just
That's
point
all.
of clarification, Brian, you said there is existing nonconformity with regard to frontage that was granted some time ago, but other than that,
Yeah, and there's existing nonconformity. Deb, we bring the site plan up again.
I don't want to go through the whole table. I'm just looking at it real
No,
quick.
but hang on a second. Share.
Oh, the side setback says 0
Yeah, yeah, because it encroaches.
on the paper,
Yeah, encroaches on the paper street.
technically. Okay.
What does that mean, Brian, when it encroaches on the paper street? Is there any, I mean, at a title search or selling, is there any issue with that?
Well, they went to land court, and they resolved that issue. And let me just see, I think
So who
Yeah.
technically now does everybody own to
basically
the
the way it
real-
works is there's something called the derelict fee statute. So each property owner would own halfway across.
Yeah, to the
Um,
middle.
To the middle, yeah, but there's always concerns that people have a right to pass, so what they did, I think it was in the 60s, I ran the title on it, I found it, that they actually filed, let me just see here, hang on a second, because if you got a minute, I'll show it to you, because it is kind of interesting. Bear with me. I had to do some digging, but I found it.
I mean, I know we've had stuff come up before us, like people having to share the paving to the middle of the road and this and that.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Didn't we do one where somebody wanted to do an addition and they'd be encroaching on a setback that was in the paper skirt or within
Right.
so many feet into that middle? I think we
Yeah.
did one a couple years ago
Kind of
on
what I
that.
remember.
I think Brian had to do some digging and figure out how that got justified or, how it worked when it got registered and all that recorded.
Hang on 1 second.
These paper streets. I didn't realize there was
Ah.
one there, we know there's some in town, but
Oh, here it is. I just found it.
like the one across the street behind the storage facility, right? That's a paper street.
That's right.
But I didn't know there was one here, so.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know it. It creates havoc on title though. So what they did, I'm going to share this. So this is it. They went to land court and they registered it. So this is the certificate of title, which this is the property. And as you can see, it says right in the certificate of title in the court, so much of the above described land that lies in the limits of the way is subject to the rights of all those lawfully entitled to thereto and over part of the way, not occupied by an existing building. So it kind of protected the buildings, is shown on said plan as affected by mutual release document 45768. And what that was.
So can they use the paper road as part of
They
their
technically,
setback?
they probably could. Sometimes lawyers get a little bit nervous over that because, they were lucky that there were only 4 people abutting it. These things are a nightmare when you have like multiple people. So this is where they did a cancellation of the right of way. And at the time, this goes back to 1968, all of the owners, they list them all 4. And, so it says right here, consideration of the mutual cancellation and annulment of all right, title, and interest of the parties in and into the right of way, release and abandon to each other any and all right granted into them. Okay, then it says it being understood, however, that this indenture is not intended and doesn't affect the right, title, and interest of any of the parties in the fee simple, the real ownership that they may have in their half of the right of way. So they did the best they could. They just wiped it out back in 1968.
So does it then become part of their lot?
It could, yeah, technically it does, but nobody ever, it will never get recognized on that like an assessor's plan. It's just,
Okay. Just, it's kind of known.
Yeah.
Never.
In the real estate world, real estate legal world, these are a nightmare. When people come to my office, this was done in 68. If I would never take this now, it becomes a nightmare because what happens is when you're trying to cancel the right of way, you got to name everybody. And it takes so long in court. By the time you've done it, people are passing away, they're dying, they're refinancing their house. You have to name their mortgage companies, and you have to it just becomes an absolute nightmare. So, but these people did it right back in 68, which is great.
I remember that.
You remember them doing that?
Yeah.
Were you on the board?
I think so.
I think he still was, yeah.
Dick may have been.
Right before Dave came on.
Yeah. But that's why it says 0 for side setback. Okay, so they're not
Thank
taking
you for
credit for it.
clarification.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for the time.
Sorry to have a
It's
mirror.
It's
Have to listen
interesting.
to all that.
No, it's all right.
All right. You ready, Mr. Chair?
Because you want your
I am ready.
We did public testimony, right? We're already back from that. Yeah, and I was asking a question
Yes.
that went down the rabbit hole. Okay.
Yes, we did.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that we grant a finding and determination pursuant to section 19050A of the bylaw that the proposed reconstruction, changes, extensions, and alterations at 17 Valley Street, based on the plans presented to us this evening, the site plan from Homestead Consulting Engineers dated June 25th, 2025, and revised September 4th, 2025, and the accompanying architectural rendering shall not increase the existing non-conforming nature of the structure.
think
Second.
I find it's, the second prong too, Dave, is not substantially more detrimental.
Oh,
I always want
Well-
that second prong, if you don't mind, if you would reconsider. I'd
you,
appreciate it.
okay. Okay, so I amend the motion, to say, to add that, but if someone were to find that, said changes, extensions, and reconstruction or alterations at the property in accordance with those plans, would increase the non-conforming nature of the structure or lot, we find that they shall not be substantially more detrimental than the existing nonconformities to the neighborhood.
Second. I
All right,
second a motion.
thank you, Chip. Regular voting members and back to Mitt. Dave Hatfield,
Yes,
Chip Tabell,
Yes.
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
Mitt Patel,
Yes.
and I vote yes. It has been approved, Brian.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you all.
Hatfield, for amending that motion. I appreciate it.
sure. Good luck to you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. And now to our final new hearing at 26-1221 Shumway Circle.
Yep.
Correct.
That's
Shumway,
mine also.
Shumway.
Mr. Chair, Attorney Brian McGrail here, on behalf of Emily and Adam Johnston, property at 21 Shumway Circle. This is application for site plan approval for an accessory dwelling unit under the new bylaw. We kind of went over this at the last meeting, I think, or the meeting before. We had another one of these where there's only like 5 streets in town that require site plan approval because they are outside of that half-mile radius to a transit stop. And they have to have an extra parking space, so they need to show that they have adequate parking, and they have to come to your board to prove that in the form of site plan approval. So the Johnstons live at 21 Shumway Circle. They were actually contemplating doing a accessory dwelling for a family member to live in, before the bylaw changed. And they held off on that. And now with the bylaw change, they'd like to move forward. So this will be an accessory dwelling unit in the basement of the existing dwelling at 21 Shumway. There's no addition to the house involved. It's under the 900 square feet. There's no issues with the building inspector except for site plan approval. I submitted a rudimentary site plan because I'm trying to save the Johnstons money that and I'm hoping the board will work with us on that. So what I did is, in quite honesty, the plan that I submitted, it doesn't do a lot as far as the plot plan, but I wanted to meet the requirement. This just shows Shumway, the house faces sideways, and we're going to show you where the driveway is in a minute because this doesn't show on the plan. They actually in 2021 getting ready to do work before this even started for basically planning to do an accessory dwelling unit potentially under the old bylaw, hired a company to redo their driveway. And this is what so I wanted to show the spec on that. But I think, the standard for you to find is really that there's adequate parking. And what we wanted to show you in that regard is we have some photos of what was done by that contractor that are in existence today, which make it quite obvious that you only need two cars for the house, and then you need one for the accessory dwelling. So this is the driveway as it was refinished by that contractor. So you could actually fit, if you pull these up, you could actually fit 6 cars in the driveway if you wanted to, but easily 3, which is a requirement, and certainly 4. So I think I have another picture that helps. Shows a driveway that was redone and, this is a house on the left-hand side, so obviously it's 3 parking spaces because there's 3 cars there. So what we're respectfully asking is, for site plan approval for the accessory dwelling under section 190-22. You're not gonna see many of these because, I would say probably 85% of the town doesn't have to do it. So, that's what we're requiring, or requesting, I should say.
All right, Brent, thank you. Any questions? Dave, I see you had your hand up.
Yeah, so again, on its face, seems like a reasonable ask. You're right about the rudimentary site plan, but somewhere, I mean, it looks like when they did a deck, this is what, there's calculations on here, but can you state for the record, because it isn't on a plan, how many square feet the proposed dwelling unit is going to be?
Yeah, I think, Emily or Adam, you know that figure, don't you? Approximate on the size of the ADU?
Yeah, I have the plans up in front of me. I can pull the exact number. It's approximately 700, 750 square feet.
Okay, again, just as part of the site plan review, again, it would just be good to, ideally, we'd have a plan that would show the square footage or what was being proposed. We'd know if it's under 900, it's by right. If it's over 900, then you'd have to be coming to us as part of a special permit for this, right? So just,
Yeah.
we
That's
just
what
need, we need that
Scott-
we need that on the record. That's all. If it's not on the plan, it's just got to be part of the record. But if you have a plan you can share, that'd be good, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah,
So
we absolutely have the
just in that regard, I think that, Dave, I think with all due respect, that's really like an issue for the building inspector, because when we go get our building permit, we've got to show that we're under 900 square feet, and if we're not, he's gonna stop us. Ben and Amy have a procedure for that, they have to get a certification from an architect on the square footage. And so if they were over 900, I would be negligent and Ben would shut us down. I'd have to reapply for a special permit. So
Right, but if you knew that and it was on a plan and you showed it to us, we'd be done, right?
that's fine. Yeah, I mean, we
That's
can.
all.
Do you have the plan?
I can share my screen now and show the site plan. I'm just looking for the specific square footage number on it, but I can show you the drawings at any rate for it. Happy to do that. So this is the layout in the it's in the existing basement, as Brian said, doesn't expand on the current footprint of the house. The accessory dwelling only encompasses a portion of the footprint here. There's a portion of it that would remain as part of the kind of main house, namely the laundry and kind of fitness and sort of hallway area here. So it's not even the entire full footprint of the basement space that goes into the ADU.
Okay, again, I'm not seeing the measurements. There's nothing on here, but you're attesting that
Oh, I got it.
you
right
believe
here.
it is. Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me take over this year.
Sure.
See right here. Dwelling unit square footage approximately 745 square feet of total area of the alterations. Total area of the alterations is 990. These are our,
And what's that document you're,
these are our drawings for the renovations.
oh,
So there's, they did a pretty extensive plan.
So I think that does it. You just didn't submit these with the application, right, Brian?
No. I just,
It's questionable whether, yeah, I hear what you're saying, that Benny would shut you down, but
I mean,
we're learning. We're learning.
yeah, I know. I just, and I just don't, it's kind of incumbent upon us to meet that requirement. And if we don't, we have to come to you for the special permit relief. And if we do, we don't. So That's why we didn't apply for a special permit. So really, if I showed you it was 1,000 square feet, you wouldn't even be able to give us a relief tonight because we didn't apply for it.
Right. Right, and site plan doesn't necessarily, where I'm also struggling because, right, if we had a real site plan from a survey, it would show the house, it would show the parking and all the square footages. And then what you do inside of it, like you said, is up to Benny. I mean, I'm fine with all of this, but
Yeah.
because really it's only, do you have enough parking?
I mean, my goal is to give the
I
board,
think I've seen this parking before.
what do you want in the future? Because I just want to know what you want. I want to make sure I give you what you want.
Other than you being honest that you're trying to save these people money, I'd want a certified site plan.
Yeah.
If you're looking for site plan review, that's what I would want. However, if you can, because I think this is also rare, because I know when they did the paving, I know you can fit 4 cars and 6. They've had 6 on there, so I know it works. And because you had the paving contract and I happen to know the site, it's all good. But if it was questionable, would then want to see how you planned on getting the I would want to see how you planned on getting the cars on the parking, right?
Got it. Yeah.
So there I'd want a surveyor saying, yep, it works. That would be me. Others might
Dave,
have
do you want,
opinion.
okay. And Dave, do you want square footage in the future? I mean, happy to get it in the future. I just want to know, so
Well, you have it. You have it
I
right
have
there.
it, but you know,
You're not where you're, for me, you're not, if it was changing the site and going, let's say it was putting it in the backyard,
yeah,
yeah, that's part of the site plan. Where he's putting it in the existing building, I don't really care. That's you and Benny.
yeah.
Right, but we've done
And if
2 of
you're
these,
doing
and I
an
think
addition for it, or putting it off in the back corner, yeah, we need to know where it's going to go.
so. We've
In
done
my
2 of these already, and I think one was outside, one was a new structure, right? One was in a garage or something. I
Yeah,
may
one
be
was a
misremembering.
garage. Yep.
But I think both of those, at least the square footage was represented in the plan somewhere, so we knew what they were planning to do. And as Chip said, if it's approval, site plan review, then we should have a site plan. So I would agree. In the future, I would say let's have a site plan, and if possible, have the square footage just as a notation on there. If not full architecturals or anything, I don't think we, again, don't have to necessarily look inside the building. We typically don't. But that's what I would ask for.
Fair. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And certainly if you were, again, you got to meet the existing side setbacks. If you're adding onto the house, right, then obviously we need to see that too, because we need to know you're still meeting the side, all the dimensional stuff. So it just speaks to site plan approval. Let's have a site plan. And
Fair. Okay.
yep. But other than that, I'm good with it as well. So thanks for the additional info.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, real quick. Fire department, no objections. Comcom, out of our jurisdiction, and engineering department wrote a letter saying they were unclear if you were adding any bathrooms. If you are, you gotta submit your 450 for the I&I fee. Are you adding a bathroom or
Bedrooms.
just, I'm sorry, bedrooms?
Say bathrooms or bedrooms in the letter.
It does say bedrooms. I just said bathrooms because I was thinking
Yeah,
I&I fee, but
they'll think that they probably charge you the I&I fee. Did they add have you pulled the building permit yet or no?
The building permit hasn't pulled. I don't know if if that fee is on there, but we can just check that.
Yeah.
Well, you have that, so. If there's no more comments, open up to the public. If there's anyone still on, like to comment, please do. Raise your hand. Otherwise, we will take it back to the board.
So
Back to the
Mr.
board, please.
Yep. So, Mr. Chair, I propose, I move that we grant site plan approval pursuant to section 190-22A1F of the bylaw as amended, to allow the proposed accessory dwelling unit at 21 Shumway Circle, based on the plans presented this evening. And that's it.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. We'll do regular voting members and back to Kirsten. Dave Hatfield,
Yes.
Chip Tabell,
Yes.
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
Kirsten Brown,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So that has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You're welcome. Good luck. All right, that continues. New hearings. I'm gonna jump over recodification discussion for last and jump right to the last other matter, which would be 198 Albion Street signage.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I can handle this pretty hopefully quickly. This is 198 Albion Street. Your board retained jurisdiction on signage. So the building has now received occupancy. There's actually a barber shop that I believe moved in and is operating and doing well. And they would like to get some signage, as would my client, for the building, for the residence entrances. So this is what he's proposing. I think pretty tasteful. You had the goosenecks are already on the building, so these do not need any lighting. They're handled nicely. Just Albion Flats and Blessed Barbershop. This is the spec on them. So 1/2-inch black acrylic with brushed aluminum faces. The sizes, they're 1/2-inch thick. They'll just be mounted on the building with no lighting. I think even Mr. McBain might like this.
Yeah, that's
he might, but I think the black is already there, right? So we're just talking about
Yep,
adding it over.
that's it, Chip. Yep.
Always, yeah. I think this is perfect. I think this is exactly what we were looking for when we put sign bans on buildings or space for it and put the goosenecks on. As a side note, I think this building really changes down there and really adds to that whole area that is being transformed.
I received more calls on this building than any other project I've ever done in the positive. People love this building. Came out great. The brick you're requiring on this made it.
Yep. If no one else has any comments, the only comment I have, and I didn't even notice it till I'm looking at it now, is you have two different fonts.
Yeah.
Now, I guess it doesn't matter because it's two different entities, but is that the Blessed is one font and Albion Flats is another? Am I the only one that get bothered by that, or am I just nitpicking?
My problem with it is that if you change Blessed, it's smaller than Albion Flats and fatter. Does that change? And then what happens to barbershop? Does that become bigger, or does it take more of the area? I did notice that and was wondering if it would make sense to have it all be the same font and size, that Blessed and Albion Flats be the same size. And then the other question I had is, should there be a number with Blessed Barbershop?
I think it's all 198, same address.
Is it all 198? There's not
Yeah.
a 198A or B
No.
or
Nope.
okay. Brian, what do you think about the font? I know this is.
I hear what you're saying, and you know, I don't, you know, I don't know, you know, I hear what you're saying. I don't know if it looks good or doesn't. I'm being honest. I mean, it might look great, it might not. So, you know, what I would suggest is if Joe is your liaison, if you would approve the signage and have Joe have a conversation with the client and and he's a great guy. Joe, you know that from meeting with him. He's
Yeah,
just,
he actually he called me about this, was wondering if he had to come to us, and I said, of course you do.
yeah, but he's a guy that aims to please and do things right. So if you designate Joe to work that issue out with him and have a discussion, then Joe could make the decision based
I
on.
don't think we need to designate him. He's already designated
Yeah.
as the
Yeah,
liaison.
but I think it's worth a discussion with the client on it to make sure he even sees it. And
Yeah,
what the purpose of it is.
between that and the dot after blessed, I don't know. I think I'm probably nitpicking here and it's getting late, but I don't know, maybe that's just the brand, the blessed with the dot. And that's their brand with their font, and then Albion has their own brand with their font. Like I said,
Work
I
that out
didn't
with
even
him.
notice it.
Yeah, we can work that out
So
with him
yeah,
too tomorrow, Joe. We can have a phone call with him, you and I.
yeah, that's fine. We could approve it with based on a condition. I look at it and get the final. Is that what we want to do? Approve it?
Yeah, we
And-
allow you to have the final say.
all right. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And again,
Got nothing else to do.
they may have noticed it and they did it for a reason. I just wondered about the period myself, if this was like a,
Yeah.
That has to be part of the name.
I think it's a
Why else
mistake.
would
It's
it
not
be
on the
there?
website.
It's not.
No.
Interesting.
Really, Kristen, that's interesting.
And interestingly, because I would have said the separate fonts are brand related, right? And the Blessed isn't the same font that is on their website. But that's one reason you could agree to or understand separate fonts, is it's part of their branding. But that's not adhering to it, at least based on what's on their website.
Yeah, I don't think the separate fonts look good. I mean, it's a little.
I think
What do
unless
you
it's,
think, Kirsten?
I kind of like the different font because they are different
yeah,
entities. But I'm kind of annoyed that 198 is not the same font as the Albion flats. That kind of annoys me more than like different fonts in between.
yeah, I would agree with that.
I think Kirsten or Katsumi become the new liaison to the to
Yeah.
the signed
I'm trying,
bylaw.
yeah, I
committee.
was trying to be careful there, Chip.
Yeah. Kirsten's
that
like,
Joe-
no.
Now that Joe has jurisdiction, we actually want to talk about neon.
Neon, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to
Okay,
answer your
that'll
question,
come
Chip,
back.
I think them being different would be okay because they're different entities. So to me, I think I'm with Kasumi on it. It would feel okay to me if in the end, Joe, that's where you ended. But I do agree. I think the period's a mistake.
All right. Well, I can have that conversation with them tomorrow.
So if
I
they
mean,
don't
I'm
need the
fine.
I'm with everybody. If they don't need the period,
So-
get rid of it.
But
I
there's
don't know
three
why.
issues that are being pointed out by Kirsten and Kasumi. The first issue is the period, right? The second discussion is the fonts, and the third is the font on 198, right?
yes.
Okay. Should
I would
198
agree.
should 198 go in the middle or at the door? Should one that
I think it has to be at the door because
It has
It's gotta be at the
that's
door
the
for the fire
entrance
department.
into that
Yeah.
the units.
Yeah, but I'm also surprised that the barber shop doesn't have a 198A either, but usually fire and life safety requires that. But that's not what we're here for.
Well, we can make that part of our discussion too if you want. Why not? I mean, to find out.
Good to confirm.
Well, it's worth the discussion probably because, you know, I don't want to have the fire department say they need something and then they just throw something up that doesn't match to meet that requirement.
Right.
So
Mhm.
we'll have that discussion too, Kirsten.
So I Googled it and it does say blessed with a period and it does say 198 Suite 102, whatever that means. So again, that's just Google Maps or something, or
That's
Yelp,
because
or
it's one of the
whoever's serving up the results, but
So, yeah.
so yeah, I'm happy to approve so they can move forward with this, but yeah, just clarify offline sort of what they really intend to do here. And
Okay.
if they're gonna update it, then we should get an updated copy for the record, obviously. So it's just, we know what we ultimately are getting. Should things change down the road.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Back in your lap, Dave.
Um,
Do we need a motion? Or do we need to just confirm that we're keeping Joe as the liaison?
I think we got to vote on it, right? Or are we push it to me to
Yeah,
make the
you're gonna
final
vote,
decision?
you're gonna vote in that way.
We got to vote. We just,
Joe can do a letter, authorize Joe to work it out and do a letter to Ben.
Right.
we don't have to open up to public. Not like there's anyone left anyways.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the sign plan as presented from Sign Art dated August 22nd, 2025 for the 198 Albion Street property pursuant to the special permit and the conditions that we had as part of that decision. And ask that the liaison to the project, Joe Pride, continue to work with the applicant and their attorney offline and just confirm exactly what they're looking to do. And if there's any adjustments to the proposed plan that we're looking at tonight, to make sure an updated one gets filed with the board and the building department.
I think I second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Regular voting members and back to Mitt, I believe. Dave Hatfield,
Yes.
Chip Tarbell,
Yes.
Kasumi Humphries,
Yes.
Mitt Patel,
Yes.
and I vote yes. So that is approved.
Thank you.
And that is that. On the recodification, there was a bylaw review committee tonight, so I don't know how that went. We haven't met in a few months, so I don't know if you guys have looked at draft 9 at all. I talked to Brian about this earlier. He's got some comments trying to clean up the wording. He sent it off to Dan today. I don't know. I think we might be meeting in another 2 weeks, and then it's off to town meeting pretty soon. So I don't know if we have time. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how the meeting went tonight. I don't know if we have time to get it in. That's the plan, is to try to get this thing 100% by November. Well, a month before, so we can get it on
Let us
the
go to the
agenda
planning
for
board,
that.
right? It has to go to the planning board for public hearing and then
Yeah.
to get on the warrant. Yeah.
Yes, which is happening very shortly.
October. Yeah.
So if I know Tom's not here, so
I
I'm
guess
sure
if
he
we
wants
have
to be.
comments, we could always go to the public hearing when planning board has it.
You could do that.
But if we had anything significant at this point, it'd be best to get it in
Yeah.
that copy that goes to the planning board. But I don't have anything at this time, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, if anyone has anything significant, you could forward it to me, and I could send it to Dan yourselves. You could send it to me, and I can forward it off to Dan. So Mark,
I mean, we made all our comments and they pretty much were all taken, so.
Yep.
I don't think they turned down anything that we had sent to them, so if Brian's wordsmithing it, if others are wordsmithing it, one thing I trust Dan on is that he wordsmith everything and gets an I and a dot and a T crossed where they need to be. So if there's any heads up that people see, I would say it, and then we'll go to public. But, I think they did everything we asked them to do.
Yeah. If we feel comfortable about it, when I'll bring that up at our next meeting. I want to say that Dan wants to have a meeting with us, but I'm not sure. I think, well, we had that too. We had that last month, I believe, right? With I think
We
Dan
did.
came on real quick. Yeah, he gave a
And
little
the lawyer
5-minute
and the
presentation.
lawyer was there.
Yeah, Mark was there too. So
Bobrowski was there.
yep. All right. So if nobody has any comments on that, then we'll just keep moving up, forward and upward, as they say. Anything else from board members? Comments? Before
Bill,
we
we got the
approve the
invitation
minutes?
to the Renly event on Friday. Everyone get that? I'm hoping to be there, not that we're,
Yeah, can I just mention that, Mr. Chair?
But we didn't
Or I
tie,
don't-
we didn't tie together Quantapowhat. We didn't tie Capagab and Forbes with that, did we?
No, because Tom was dealing with some
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Okay, no.
but if I could just
appreciate
add, the Renly event is at 4 o'clock. It's from 4 to 6. It's an open house. They're gonna be showing some of the units inside. They're gonna show the amenity areas, have a reception in the amenity area outside on the second deck. They're going to have, visit open affordable units so you can see how they were built. And it's a great opportunity to see one of these projects and how well, I'll guarantee you, when you go in that building, you're gonna want to live there. It's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you can make it.
I'm planning on being there. I mean, it isn't often we get to see inside. I've seen a few over the years, but I'm looking forward to seeing this one. So I plan to
Gorgeous.
go. But I was going to wonder about 200Q. So understood. I think when we last talked, we were going to maybe try to do them both the same afternoon if possible, but I understand if just not ready for that, then that's fine. We'll try that one another day. But we're looking forward to being there on Friday.
All right. Approval of minutes, August 13th.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the meeting minutes as written so well by Amy Purcell for August 13th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
This could be a, what does he say? A voice vote, right? All in favor? Aye.
Motion to
And
adjourn.
a motion to adjourn is always in order. Aye.
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 All right,
Good night, all.
guys.
Everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Great job.